Alright guys, we're going to do a video today that's all about NABJ. And so for many of you who don't know what it is, don't worry, we're going to tell you all about it. So, here's our video. Check us out.
Is it Mardi Gras yet?
We're gonna kind of came up with this idea to make a video about tips in NABJ, right Chris?
Definitely.
Okay, so I'm an NABJ newbie and Chris is...
I'm an NABJ baby, basically.
Basically, yeah, he an NABJ baby. So basically we're gonna make this video so we can kind of give people personal tips. Of course, you can always go online and find tips from the real experts. I'll leave those links below. And of course, you can follow any hashtag on Twitter at hashtag NABJ17 to get any other tips from other reporters. But these tips that we're going to do today is going to come from me. I went to my first convention last year and I'm going again this year. So I thought, let's make a quick video, right? And so Chris, my husband, he is going to give some of his tips for his many years of going to different conventions. Okay? So, Chris, let's start this off.
Let's do it.
All right. So, if I am somebody who is looking for a job,
Right.
what kind of tips can you give somebody who's hoping to go to this convention and get a job? Like, what tips do you have for them?
Well, the main one basically is to make sure your resume and your cover letter and the work samples you have are all almost perfect. You have to have them looked over by professionals 2, 3, 4, 6 million times. It doesn't matter, but it has to be perfect. And you want to make sure whatever you're using as your work samples are also in a very simple and elegant and clean way to look at, because there's going to be a lot of convention, there's going to be a lot of people from the convention who will be recruiters there, and they're going to be going through a lot of people's material, and they're going to speed through them. They're going to speed through them a lot, and they want to make sure yours is quick and fast and they can get to it easily. So that's one of my first tips.
So it's almost kind of like, you know, you're kind of sharing that attention with all the recruiters, because it's going to be hundreds of people there. You got at least 3-4 full days of interviews from, you know, like in the morning to afternoon. So you kind of want to be able to be quick, get in there, and show your best work right there in the forefront.
And one of the key things during these interviews is that, like you said, a lot of people will be talking to these recruiters as well. So it gets to be an overburden for all of them. You want to try to do things or say things that's going to make you different or make you special from the crowd. And that's a lot of what these tips we're going to be talking about today as well, sort of focus on. One of the things I always like to tell people is, if you have a really good interview with a certain recruiter, go to the dollar store or go someplace where you can get a cheap pack of thank you cards.
Yes, you definitely want to do the thank you cards.
And actually sit down and hand write a thank you card to that person. You want to reiterate what you guys talked about in that interview, reiterate how much you really want to work there and how you can be an asset to that company, and snail mail. It's very important. Snail mail that to the recruiter. And you do that because that's going to put you in a different resume pile than everyone who just sent an email or people who didn't follow up at all. Right. And they like that. People don't handwrite things anymore, so that'll make you stick out just almost instantly.
So is that something that's ever worked for you? Like, do you have a story that maybe worked for you?
It's worked in almost every job application I've ever done.
Right.
And again, I can't say that I did it at every single job that I went for, but I focused on the ones where I feel like I really connected with the recruiter or the hiring manager, and I felt like I had a really good chance. I just wanted to put that extra icing on the cake, and I sent them a letter, and I always got positive feedback about it, because, like, again, people are really surprised to see that in the mail, and they get excited that there's something actually directly addressed to them. Right. And it is specialized.
Right. Okay, so another tip for somebody looking for a job, because of course, you know, I'm going to the convention because I'm looking for a job. So a really good tip that he gave me was to, I know a lot of people nowadays have a lot of technology with them, and of course you're doing all your games and you're on Facebook, but if there's any time that you want to use your technology for something useful, I got this tablet. I never use this tablet, Chris.
Never.
I just don't use it. But a good tip he told me, get a splitter. This is a, what was it, $3 at Walmart?
$4.
Like $4 splitter that we got from Walmart, and basically you can stick this in a tablet And if they got headphones and you got headphones, you both can actually listen in. And of course, I put the link to this at the bottom. Put all your reels on here. So like me, producer, if you're a producer, if you edit videos really well, even if you do animations or anything where it's kind of like
they need to listen. Yeah,
where they need to listen to, then you definitely want to put that all on the memory card, because sometimes maybe you don't always have Wi-Fi, the internet could be slow. We ain't got time for that. If it's already on your tablet, all you gotta do is be like, bam, I got my stuff right here. You wanna see it? And of course, that is the quickest, easiest way, because like he said before, you gotta show these people, you know, what you got, and you don't have all day to be like, okay, let's wait for the Wi-Fi, you know.
And the beautiful thing about this is that it crosses over all disciplines of media. So if you're actually maybe a print and online journalist and you did a multimedia package, you can use this mode as well. Or even if you're a radio on-air host and you want to send them, you want to show them your voice demo, this is the same thing. You know,
right.
It goes across all disciplines. Whether you're in photography, you want to show them audio,
your photos, right? Because as much as we love our technology and the internet, it ain't gonna always work for us.
The Wi-Fi won't always work.
It always won't work.
Make sure the file is actually on the tablet.
Right, exactly.
Or whatever you use, because some of you guys have cell phones that's almost as big as, you know, tablet screen. So if you got to do it that way, I mean, it works at all of your traditional audio ports for devices. So just go get the splitter.
Right.
It's worth that $3 or $4 investment.
Right, definitely. So I wanted to go straight into like what to do if you're looking for a job at the convention, because for me, I thought that was like priority. So right now, what we want to do a little bit of discussion about before you get there. What type of work do you do before you get to the convention? Right. As far as dress, outfits, you know, research. What's some few tips that you have as far as what to do before you actually get to the convention?
So I would say there's a lot of work that you can do before you get to the convention that can make actually going there work double time for you if you do it all in the right time.
Right.
One of the first things is really nail down what companies you're trying to work for if you're a job seeker, and do as much research as you can on that company, because when you sit down with the recruiter, the person that knows more about that company, again, sticks out than everyone else. You know,
right.
Thank you card does that, but actually doing your research about what the company is about, what their mission is, what the culture is, that's one thing that you can do to sort of give yourself a leg up there. But also, I mean, when we talk about dress, you want to be very, very specific about what you pick in your outfits for the 3 or 4 days. I know men specifically, you want to be very, very classic and clean. One 2-piece or a 3-piece suit. Make sure you have shiny shoes. Guys, get the best haircut you possibly can for your barber. And always smile when you go there. But that's all things that you got to work out before you get there with your dress and the work that you do beforehand.
Right.
Yeah.
One tip that I really have for the women will be to make sure that you have clothes that give you that confidence and that you feel comfortable in. You're not going to the club. You know, they're not going to hire you based on, you know, how short your dress is. You can leave, I mean, maybe you can leave that if you're going to some off-location parties, but at the end of the day, like we were discussing earlier, when you get to this convention, you're always on. You're going to be on. Yes, you may no longer be on the convention floor auditioning for that job, but these same people are going to be at these parties. They're going to see you at these parties. So the way you dress is going to be very, very important. I know, us females love to wear them heels, because that's when you feel your hottest in them heels. But get you some comfortable heels, maybe some wedge heels, something that's going to make sure that you know that you're going to walk. Because what's going to happen? You're going to be walking a lot. You're going to be walking a lot. You're going to be walking a lot. So you definitely want to make sure you got comfortable shoes, you're wearing something that's making you feel confident, and make sure you got your hair together. Make sure everything is good. You don't have to be perfect. What needs to be perfect is your resume.
And I'll say one other thing that you need to do before you get to New Orleans is, if there's a company or two that you specifically know you want to apply for, if there's some jobs that's already listed on that company's website, I'd say go ahead and apply for those already. So once you get there, you can already forward the conversation with the hiring manager or the recruiter to say, look, I know what you guys have in terms of openings right now. I've actually, in fact, applied for opening A, B, and C, and I just want to see what else I can do to maybe strengthen my candidacy, or if there's anything you can tell me insight-wise about the culture there that could help me determine whether this would be a best fit for me.
Right. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like. Chris, what's your Twitter?
You can catch me at American Glow.
He is American Glow on Twitter, you guys. Of course, you can catch me at @Deprina_. You can check. Oh, no, that's my Instagram. Deprina. Of course, you can catch me anywhere online. #ThePreParty, cause that's who I be. Everything that we talked about today and some of the other places where you could get some tips and some links are all going to be posted below. But thank you for watching.
Take care. Have fun, guys.